Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and anybody that's new, welcome. So today I want to do a tree of life. I've seen a couple in some crafting groups and I want to give it a try myself. So this is how I'm going to do mine. I'm not sure how everybody made theirs. They kind of all look a little bit similar, but this is the one I'm going to try. So I do have a wreath ring from Dollar Tree, which is a 14-inch in diameter. And I'm going to use some jute rope, two sizes. So this one is from Dollar Tree. It's the thicker size is what I'm going to use for the tree itself. I am going to use Dollarama's jute rope, which is a little thinner actually, and they didn't have any, so I just got them from Dollar Tree. So I did have a piece that was already cut off. What you're going to do is use some hot glue. I'm not going to glue everything all around it to show you right at the moment, but I'm just going to show you how we'll start off. So I'll just glue it on a line, start maybe having the center and going one way and going the other, because you are going to have the rope is going to angle because you're going around, and obviously the inner circle's smaller than the outer circle, so it will go. So I would start at the bottom and work your way up and do the same as well on the other side. So once you hot glue, I'm just going to glue this here. Oh, that didn't work. I should just turned on my glue gun and just showed you to start off. But you're just going to want to wrap it tight. Now, not every strand I'm going to hot glue, and I'm just going to keep it super tight. So as you go along, you're just going to want to keep it super tight all the way around. I'm just going to show you. There was different ones that I seen. I actually seen one, I'm not sure which group it was, but the lady actually used her great-grandmother's costume jewelry, and it was actually really cute. It was really, really nice. I think she put it on a pizza pan though. So what you're gonna do is just keep wrapping it around, and you'll notice it's gonna be smaller, but you just, even if the angle will get wider as you go up, and it'll be on more of a slant. That's why having like a clock, like centered, starting the other way, like up one way and then up the other way. So what you want to do is no spaces in between and keep it super tight. And every couple strand, just keep hot glue on 3 bars and keep going until you get up to there, and then start on the other side as well. All right, so I wanted to show you that. So I used both packs of the jute rope, and on the jute rope, the ones that I used from the Dollarama said 10 meters on it, but it was the thinner ones. The thicker jute rope, like I said, I was going to use for the tree. That one says 2.3 meters, but don't forget the diameter is bigger on that one. I'm not sure the other size at Dollar Tree because I haven't seen it in a while. So this was the only other option. I just had the bigger jute rope, but I only did up to there since I used both packs, and you're not going to see this part anyways. And when we put the moss on it, so I just figured I would just leave that empty, because once you put the rope on for the tree, you're going to have some parts that are there, and the moss is big enough in clumps that it will just eventually cover it. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to get some river rocks, these stones that you get from Dollar Tree, and we're going to glue those on. Now I'm just going to use some hot glue. Now I picked out, I'm just going to show you here. I've picked some out already. I try to pick more of the flatter ones so you don't have like a big bulky one on when you glue them on. And you're probably just going to want to do, I'd say, on the bottom half. You know, I'm trying to think of center wise for that. So I'm probably just going to do some up to here sparse. We are going to glue them, even though the bottom roots are going to go over top. But once we glue them on, I want them to be a little bit more shiny, and I don't know why I want that, but I'm just going to take some Mod Podge, and I think I'm just going to try to put a little bit of shine on them, like they're wet, either in soil, so to speak. And I'm just going to use, like I said, hot glue, and I'm just going to start placing them around. with some hot glue. And I got little ones too, because this one's a little bit, I just figured using the flat ones would just be a lot easier. I think this one's too thick. That you're going to want to do, and you're just going to place them around. I'm probably just going to play with them here until I find the right fit for some of them. And I'm just going to go around and just I'm trying to use the smaller ones. Some of the ones are bigger, but the ones underneath here will be a little bit hidden, so you're not going to see as much with all the roots coming down. But you don't want to have it indented. You want to have it more of a lifted effect when you're putting them in. I don't know, if I hope that makes sense. And I'm just going to glue them. I'm going to do some Mod Podge, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so I just wanted to show you that I actually put I had some extra pieces of jute rope, and I just wanted to add it in just a little bit up here, only because when you put the reindeer moss on, some of it will fall through. But I left this little opening here because we're actually just going to take some of the jute rope, the thicker one, and we're just going to attach it on the back. And this will be before you put the moss on, but I just wanted to show you. I'm probably going to use some Wellbond glue and let it dry overnight, or a good couple hours anyways, before I touch it in a little bit of hot glue. Just make sure you don't put the Wellbond glue and the hot glue touching each other, because it won't set. Now, I did put the rocks on, and I used, like I said, some Mod Podge, which gave them a nice shiny little finish. Now, I might add a few more depending how we go. So we are going to cut some rope, and I'm just going to get my tape here, and I was supposed to measure it before I started the camera, and I totally forgot. And I cut 2 pieces. I'm only going to use 2 pieces of it, 21 inches. So what you're going to want to do is keep one up here to the top, and you're going to glue it on the back underneath like that. So once you glue it on in the back, I'm just going to glue it. I'm not going to do it all the way down. I'm just going to do it probably just an inch, because then you're going to unravel this piece that's here. And I'm just going to show you this way. So once that's glued on, you're going to ravel so it will become, I'm just going to show you here. And you can separate them kind of like this. And you're going to flip them on either side, coming over the rocks, and then you're just going to glue it underneath. And then this top one, you'll just do the exact same thing. You'll unravel it. So it depends how many branches you want to have on your tree as well. And then we're going to grab another 21-inch long piece. And if it's too long, you can always cut it. You just don't want it to have it too short. And you're going to do something like this. I seen a lady in another group about 2 months ago. She did one of these tree of life, and she actually used her grandmother's old costume jewelry, and it looked really cool. But I think she put it on a pizza pan, if I'm not correct. That's what I'm going to do the next one with the bling one. So it depends how you want to situate it. So once you get it there, you're going to have those other ones coming. I'm going to get this one on, and then I'm going to show you how to attach the next piece on. All right, so I glued it on the back and I unraveled it, and then I just put it over. I haven't glued it on yet on the bottom. So you got part of the tree. So we're going to add another piece. Now I said I cut 2 pieces of 21, and I meant one piece 21 and the other one is 39 inches. So we're just going to put this one here. We're just going to clip it on top, straight like that. You're going to glue these after, like I said, and tuck them under, but you're going to wait because you're going to have some more of the rope. So you're just going to kind of measure it so it's long here, and you're just going to take your second one. And then what we're going to do is just hot glue it as you go. So you're going to leave like this much hanging over. And you can also just put it, if you need to move it up, and I wouldn't cut anything because you can always just cut it after. So just hot glue it. So this piece that's over here on the bottom will be unraveled for more and then glued underneath. And you're just going to keep going up for the trunk. I have to move it up a bit here. So once you figured out, I would just then move pieces and glue them just to make sure that you have them okay. So this piece will be glued down and from behind here, and then it will be unraveled like the rest and glued under. And then you will, I'm just going to clip it here so you know what I mean. Clip it there. So then I'm just going to let this go here. So once you get this glued, then you're going to move to the top, and you're just going to situate how many strands that you want out. It looks silly from this, but and then you're just going to pull them tight where you want them. This will be situated here like such, and you just move your branches and you glue them over. You don't have to glue them over, you can just glue them where here because you will have the greenery going over it. All right, so I got everything glued on. I just actually cut the parts here and I just hot glued them on. I didn't wrap them around the side because I'm gonna put the green on. So I'm gonna use some reindeer moss, and I don't suggest the flora moss because it's really, really dry. I don't know, I've only used, I think the flora moss I used for my Jenga block, or not my Jenga block, the bunny topiary last year, and I just found it was really messy, and it was like my fingers were so green, and it was just, it crumbles, it's really dry, where the reindeer moss is very more moist and a little bit, I found it a lot easier to work with. So I'm just going to use some hot glue. So I'm hoping all this is just, so it depends how much you want to put down. I'm just showing you here. I'm not going to sit here and make you guys watch me glue stuff on. But it all depends on, you know, it's all up to your liking, how far you want to put some down. I am going to go around all the edges and just keep gluing over top with some hot glue. I will go down a little bit on the side. I'm gonna glue two just tiny little pieces on. I thought it was kind of funny that I saw them when I was going to look for the rocks and stuff like that, is they had sponge mushrooms from Dollar Tree. Now some of them are a little bit bigger, but I found two little pieces that I'm just gonna stick here right on the bottom. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna come back, and I think I wanted to hang actually a tire on there, because I remember going to an uncle's that had this tire swing and I just loved it, but when I was small, but I can't seem to find a little tire. So I'm probably gonna do a little swing and put a little swing on, and I'm probably just gonna do with a couple little sticks. Now, Dollar Tree has, okay, where is it now? Oops. They have the little twig bundles from Dollar Tree, and I'm just trying to find the little baggie I had of them because I was cut. No, they They had some little sparkles on it, but you can paint right over it if you don't want the little bit. Sometimes a little sparkles just, and they come in little packs like this. So I'll probably just cut little pieces, and I was just playing around here while, before I did the video. And I'm probably just gonna make a little swing out of that and just use some DT rope. And just, I think I'll do it on this side. I haven't decided if I want to do that yet or not. I'm going to put on all the moss and play around with it for a bit. And then I'll come back and show you the final project. All right, so I wanted to show you. So I added a few more rocks just so it was evened out on both sides. Over here, I did just keep clumping the reindeer moss on top of each other until it was secure and that nothing was falling off. I opted out something different with the sticks, and I decided to just, I actually just cut a Jenga block. I use just, I call it my handy dandy saw. It's just the little saw from DT. If you don't have a cutter, I have a cutter, but if you don't have that, I also just drilled 2 holes, as you can see here, and put some jute rope through it. Now, if you don't have a drill, what you could do is just glue it right on the block, and underneath, to give it that effect, just make a knot in some jute rope. You can cut it like this, and just to give it that illusion that you put it through, and just glue the other part on. Now, this part here is just 3 strands. I only have 2 strands here, but was 3 strands, and I just braided it like hair, glued it right on top of the branch, and you could glue it right there. I was able to put it through, and I just used some gel stain on it as well. So I think it turned out pretty well. I'm really excited to put it on my wall now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed and you like what you see, or if you've checked out some of my other videos, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. And I hope everybody has a great day. Happy crafting, and see you soon. Bye.